felt like rejected. I don't know. It was just like, what?
You felt rejected because that's what you've experienced in your past, or because that's what the perception that I gave you? Because from what you've told me in our discussions, you have an issue with that, right?
I do.
You have an issue with that abandonment and stuff like that, right? I know this because you told me this.
Right.
And I told you, I'm not that dude that's going to abandon you. I'm not that dude that's going to disappear on you. But at the same time, I'm also not that dude that's going to chase you or just reduce myself to being the type of, simple individual that's going to let people do that to them. Like, I'm going to make myself available to you.
Right.
Like, I know my value.
Right.
And I'm not talking from like a monetary standpoint or just like materialistic stuff. I'm talking about just my value as a man,
right,
and what I can bring to not just you, but any individual that I'm around. You understand me? Like that's I know that I'm going to enhance, and I'm sincere when I say this. I'm not saying this in an arrogant way, but I know that that's just a gift. Like, I'm going to enhance anybody's life. How? That remains to be seen. With you, it could just be, hey, man, she needs an ear. She needs somebody to listen to her, somebody to understand her, somebody that she knows that's not going to abandon her, right?
Mm-hmm.
It might not even be a physical thing. You know what I mean? It's not really about that. It's about a connection. And that, from what I can tell, even with our little discussions that, got kind of deep, I can tell you need that. I can tell you want that. But there's a difference between wanting stuff and wanting things and then actually putting yourself in a position to receive those things. Sometimes we're our own worst enemies.
Yeah.
Sometimes we it's our own heads, it's our own self that are in the way from us experiencing the things and building the relationships with people that we desire.
Right.
And
I know that's definitely something that I've been working on, like, just trying to become more of an open person to receive, like, somebody that's actually not going to abandon me. Like I told you before and in the message, like, I know that I have issues. Like, I have deep-rooted issues, And it's like, I just get so frustrated.
And and that's I get it. Like, I get that. And we all have issues. We all have our own little quirks. I have a problem with trusting people. I haven't put any thoughts in your mind or done anything to you that would make you believe that you can't trust me.
Yeah.
And I'm not even asking that question to you. I'm telling you because I know. That's why you're on the phone with me now. That's why you still have my number now. That's why I didn't erase your number or delete your number, because honestly, I felt like when you're ready to choose up, like when you're ready to really talk to me and experience a type of connection with the dude that you probably haven't had in a while, you'll get at me. You know what I mean? And you'll speak up somehow, whether it's a call, whether it's a text, whether it's something. There'll be a sign, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just now you contacted me, and I received it, and I reached back out to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, it's like, okay, you can't build a connection over the phone and expect it to be a strong connection. You can build a connection, but eventually you have to be next to that person. You have to feel that person's energy. You have to look in that person's eyes. You have to see that person's body language. You have to vibe with that person, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, you got to say, all right, I'm going to make this happen. Like, I know I'm busy. I know he's busy. But you know what? This is something that I'm interested in. This is a type of connection and a relationship that I would like to build with somebody. And when I say relationship, I'm not even talking about in the intimate aspect. I'm just saying in a deeper, mind, a mind connection with somebody who's going to listen, somebody who's going to feel what you're going through, somebody that you can talk to and trust. Like that is what I'm trying to not offer you, but that's what I'm telling you, yo, if you just let yourself have this type of connection with somebody, it's there for you.
Thank you.
Right? Obviously they're important, but before you can do anything and be good and go from good to great and go from like or go from great to extraordinary, where does it start? Where does
Yeah,
it
we're
start?
trying to figure out.
No, you don't need it. I'm gonna tell you right now where it starts. It starts with self. It starts there. You can't be a good anything until you love who? Like until you feel like you love who?
I mean, I do love myself, don't get me wrong. I do love who I am, but it's like I have so many different characters. To me, it's like, damn, one minute I'm here, the next minute I'm there, and then I'll be all over the place, and I have to bring myself back down. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. That's where I get frustrated, because it almost seems like I'm just making excuses when I try to tell people what actually goes on in my head. Like, they don't really understand. Like, my mind, it races. I hear thoughts, like 1,000 thoughts at a time, and I have to calm down. That's why I drink so much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a little bit deeper than what I've actually told you and expressed to you. I know a lot of people say, like, oh, you're a pretty girl, whatever, you shouldn't have all these problems. But it's like, y'all don't know what I've been through. Y'all don't know my history. Y'all don't understand. It's just frustrating. I don't know, but I love
I know some
myself.
of your history now.
You do.
I
You
know.
do.
And
You
the
absolutely
thing
do.
about it is we only had 2 conversations.
Right.
And I probably know more about you than any man that you previously dated or talked to has even cared to even inquire about, right? Even cared to want to know. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really got at you on some you're beautiful type shit. Like, hey man, you're any physicality types. I don't think that's how I came at you.
No.
Because honestly, like I'm in a position, and again I say this, and I'm sincere, and it's not from an arrogant place, but beauty doesn't really like impress me. Like I have my, we're all attracted to certain physical attributes of a person, and there has to be a physical attraction, but that's not gonna impress me because I don't have a problem getting pretty women. I don't have a problem with that. And just like you don't have a problem with getting attractive dudes, probably, I'm sure. But you
Right.
do have a problem with finding somebody who actually gives a fuck and wants to learn
Mm-hmm.
about you, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's almost like half and half, but I seem to run people off. I don't know. It's almost like,
Yeah, you run people off. I mean, you it's you run people off. But here's the thing about that too. It's kind of a gift and a curse because you're going to run the people with bad motives off. Like you're going to run them off. You're going to the people will a lot of times they'll show you what they think you want to see, right? Initially.
right, right,
So the way you I want, and I use this term endearly, like the way you bullshit and the the lack of like focus that you have, and you're easily just you're going everywhere like you said. That can make a lot of men just be like, man, fuck her, she's bullshit and she ain't about shit and whatever, right? And there goes that abandonment because people lose patience. They have their motives, which are probably sexual all the time.
Right. Right.
But then you'll come across maybe somebody, and it doesn't have to be me. I'm just speaking. I'm just generalizing. You'll come across a dude that doesn't really have sexual motives. I mean, sex is cool. It's great. That's awesome. But the motives are deeper, right? And the way you'll be able to see that, and the way you'll be able to recognize that, is if this person actually stays around even when you've kind of abandoned them, right? There's a saying. It's an old saying. You probably heard it, but it's like, if you and again, I'm just using the word love. It's not necessarily like you love me, but if you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, it's yours, right?
Right.
If it's not there, then it obviously wasn't. So I haven't gone anywhere, right? And I can't even remember the last time we hung out. Honestly, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long while.
But I'm talking to you like we just hung out yesterday,
That's
right?
true.
There's that connection. So, and I'm not necessarily saying that there's love between us, but I've established a connection with you strong enough, and an interest in you as a person that's strong enough that something told me, hey man, just let her do her thing, but when she's ready, she'll be back. And you just be ready to let her in.
Wow.
So, wow, what? What?
I don't know.
Not a
Just
lie. I'm not
thinking.
lying to you. What you wowing for?
I'm just thinking about what you said.
What's it? And that's okay. So, what's your thoughts on that? Like, what are you thinking when I said that to you? What's going through your mind?
A lot. A lot of
Break
things
it
are going
down.
through my mind.
So break that down. If it's a lot, break it down into small bits. Because I'm not the type of dude that's going to accept the answer when you say, oh, there's a lot going through my mind. Well, I'm the type of dude that wants you to break it down. And we're going to have a discussion.
So basically, you said if you ask something, let it go. And then if it comes back to you, then it's yours. So it's almost like, were you expecting me to come back, or were you just like, if she come back, she come back. If she don't, then she don't.
I expect, and because of my experience, that's a good question. Because of my experience with just people. Now I'm not even talking about women. I'm just talking about people in general.
Mm-hmm.
There's an energy. Everybody has energy, right? Energy is transferable.
Right.
There's an energy that I have, whether it's a presence, it's an aura, whatever you want to call it. It's like magnetic.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
I felt it. I did. I felt it.
Exactly. So I'm again, and I talk about value. Like that's my value. Like I know this about myself. It took me a long time to learn this about myself, but I know this about myself, and I truly believe that every interaction that I've had with somebody, that I've got to spend time around them, there's a connection. And it's not a regular type of connection. There's a deeper connection because I'm a sincere person, and even like there's something about me, that energy, that aura, that sense of understanding and open-mindedness that I have that attracts people. And you could be gone for a year, and then eventually it never fails. And that's why I don't erase phone numbers. Somebody will
Right.
reach out. Whether it's 2 months, 3 months, a year, 3 years, somebody will reach out, and it's like, okay, cool, what's going on? That's just, I guess, a gift, and it's something that I've embraced.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm telling you, like, and I'm glad you said you felt that energy because, again, I truly believe, like, there was a connection between us, not just a physical, because I think we were both attracted to each other from the time we saw each other, you know what I mean, in person or whatever. But it had to
Yeah.
go deeper than that. And I think the conversation, what you laughing at?
It's nothing. It's like, you're right.
The conversation put us on another level. And again, like, that's what I meant by that. It wasn't like I'm saying, well, if she doesn't reach back out to me, then fuck her. No, it's never fuck you because we never ended on that type of note, right? I had confidence that we had deep enough conversations that you would reach back out to me because I felt like our conversations had that much value.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say that. So, you know.
Yeah.
But again, it's gotta be around people that have good intentions.
Yeah, that's true.
That'll make you better. It'll make you a better person. It'll make you feel better. It'll make you see things different. It'll change your mind state. It'll just enhance your life and your mind state. Because with you, it's a mind state. You're always gonna see yourself. You're a beautiful girl. You have that, but that's not what's where your pain is at. Like your pain is deeper than physical with you.
Right. It definitely is.
So I I'm not gonna be the one to run from you, but I'm not no track star either, baby. Like I'm not gonna run a marathon to try to catch you. You understand me? Like, hey, you gonna have to meet me halfway.
Yeah, I mean, just be cordial with me.
I'm cordial with you. I think I'm very cordial with you, but I also think that you need to understand that I'm also going to be 100 with you.
I appreciate that.
And 100 doesn't always mean cordial. That means, hey, you need to hear this because
everybody in my family comes to me for everything. Like, all of my siblings come to me for everything. And it's like when I left, it seemed like the whole fucking world was on fire. Like,
and
damn,
who do you go to for
nobody.
For that guidance
and that
just when you need that calm voice in your ear or whatever.
I usually don't go to nobody. I go in my room and my
So you
bathroom
bottle that
closet
up
and cry. Yep.
Now let's keep it 100. How's that been working?
I mean, it hasn't.
Exactly.
It ain't really been working.
So again, we talk about choice. You gotta choose. You gotta choose a different outlet. You gotta choose a different way to cope or mechanism, because honestly, like, when you continue, and you probably heard this before, but if you haven't, you need to take this to heart. Like, if you want a different result than what you've been getting, then you have to make a different choice than what you've been making, because anything you do repeatedly, like the choices you make repeatedly, and then you expect a different outcome, that's, they say that's the definition of insanity. Like, you're insane if you think you can keep just locking yourself in your room, crying and coping with this all by yourself. You're insane to think that that's the proper way, or the way that's going to help you, deal with it and grow, and eventually not have it be a burden on your mindset, and obviously, your life. Like, that's insane, because it hasn't worked for you for years. So you need to find somebody or something or whatever. One of them's, hey, you build vanities, and you're a very artistic woman. It's obvious. But that can't be the only way, because there's not enough there's just not enough for you to do. What happens when you're done? Then what?
Right. Yeah.
So not saying that that's a great way to get your mind off things, because it's self-expression. It's a form of self-expression. What you sent me is a form of self-expression. That picture, that's you. Just like this conversation is self-expression. You're talking, right?
Yeah.
You're getting shit off your mind. You're getting these things that have probably been bothering you. At least somebody's listening, and you're talking to somebody, and it's easing that pressure, or that feeling of loneliness. Like, I don't got nobody to reach out to. Everybody reached out to me, but I don't got anybody to talk to, or nobody wants to hear me. Nobody gives a fuck. Well, Marcus is talking to you at 9:39 in the evening. Being that ear that you can talk to, lending you that ear, being that calm voice in your ear, that voice of reason, the voice of realness, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you have to reach out to me all the time, but that you should feel like, hey, I can reach out to this dude. He'll listen. He'll talk to me. He'll keep it real with me. I'm always going to make somebody else happy before I put myself before other people. And there's very few people like that.
That's true. I'm definitely one of them.
In 2017, there's very few people that will put other people's needs and interests before their own.
Say that again.
I'll say it again. In 2017, there's very few people that will put other people's needs and their best interests in front of their own interests. That's some deep shit right there. That's deep.
Yeah. Those Pisces that I know are like that. My daughter is like that too.
I got you.
Okay.
She said,
I
okay.
trust you. No, I'm serious. Okay, you say you got me. I'm gonna trust that. Okay.
I got you. If you're on some empowering type of stuff, and you wanna, just develop a different mindset and mindset, I got you.
Yes, that's exactly where we at.
All right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you on that.
Why you say it like that?
Like what?
Like I got you on that and nothing else.
I got you on some mindset shit, on some elevation, and strengthening the mind, and just how you approach things, and how you perceive things, and just the out. Because I think it's good to have that reinforcement from people that you respect, and you trust. But
yeah,
for you, like, you need that nurturing, that mind nurturing.
Say it again.
Yeah, really, that's what you need. You need that mind nurturing, and I'm just the motherfucker that'll do that. Shit, I'm serious.
I got you. Shit, that's man.
All right.
All right, sweetie.
All right. Well, that was a good talk. I'm glad you picked up.
Yeah, I'm glad I did too.
All right. But here's the thing. Like it can't
For
just be
sure.
one night. If you want to change, it has to have change starts with consistency.
For sure, sweetie.
You
I
know.
mean, I heard you loud and clear. Like, loud and clear. This conversation has really helped me feel a lot better about the decisions that I need to make in my future. Like, as far as the things that's actually going to help me and better me, because it is like sometimes it do become like I get stuck and I get afraid and I don't know how to move forward. You know, you telling me that you're going to help me get past that, why wouldn't I?
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what my plan is.
Mhm.
That's what I want. I want something different. I don't want to keep making these same choices. Like, it really did get frustrating holding all of this stuff in and not having nobody to talk to about it.
Right.
But you say you're going to be there. You say you got me. Then okay, let's do that.
All right. Now that means
Okay.
you got to open your mind up. That means
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta. That means you gotta be real with me. Like you gotta. You gotta be. Basically say, you gotta trust me.
Yeah,
I'm like your
that's,
number one partner right now. You gotta trust me, and you gotta know that whatever you tell me, you can't be afraid to tell. Like I'm that open-minded person. Almost like
hmm
that fly on the wall. When you think you can just say anything, and nobody will judge you or whatever. Like I'm that person, but you gotta
and that's
understand that.
why I have been so like, and that was the main reason why I have been so closed off, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I have been completely just closing off and putting up a wall because it's hard to trust people. It's hard to tell people that you have these type of issues without them judging you or looking down on you or, making you into some type of fucking statistic. Like, you don't, if a person don't know you, they don't know where you've been, they don't know where you're at, they don't know where you're going.
Mhm.
It's like you just have to find a way to, if you feel a person is genuine enough, which I do feel that you are genuine, to just finally go ahead and start bringing you into my life piece by piece by piece, because it's very deep.
Right. Right. Well, that's what we need. Like that's gonna help you, and it's gonna help you mentally. And when things can when we can let things go mentally, that are almost like an anchor and holding us down, and it allows us to experience things in a better way, in a newer light. Start trusting people more. Start looking at things with a different outlook, and all of that. Like that's what's gonna happen. But again, it's got to be consistency, and you gotta check in with me. Like you gotta keep me. You got to keep me on speed dial. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
can't be a text message. Like I need your ear. I need
just
your ear,
call.
not your fingertips. I need your ear.
And
I need to be able to speak to your ear.
yeah,
You know.
I done got used to fucking caught up in everybody else. That's how everybody else do. So I'm like, shit.
But here's me.
Maybe
I'm
I'm
not.
the
I'm not
slow one.
everybody else.
You
Get
feel me?
get, get me out
No,
of that
no, I
trick
got
bag.
you.
Get me
No,
out of
no,
that
no, I
trick
got
bag.
you. But that's how the world is. It's like everybody fucking texting nowadays. I don't like texting, but it seems like that's the only way I can reach people sometimes.
All right. Well,
I
that's
would
that's
prefer
how
to
the
talk.
world is. That's how the world. Let me. I'm going to be your world. I'm going to be your little universe. And in this world, we gonna call this the real world. Like in the real world, people talk. All right.
That's right.
So we
Yeah.
gonna talk. All right. It's gonna be our little world. All right. Me and you.
Yeah.
But you're gonna talk to me, and you're gonna be around me physically, and I'm gonna show you different things and different ways of looking at things and approaching things, and it's gonna help you. And again, yeah, I'm sure you're gonna, you're gonna bring value as well. But the things that I have to show you, again, I always tell people I'm a life enhancer. I'm gonna help enhance your life.
Yeah.
All right. And this conversation really was on some enhancement type stuff.
It really was. I feel it. Like, I feel your energy. That's crazy. I felt it the first time we talked on the phone. I remember I sat in my car, and I don't even remember how long we was talking, but, like, I just felt your energy.
Right.
And I feel your energy still. Like, I see what you was talking about. Like, it's true. It is true.
That's what I'm about. I'm really about that energy. I gotta, again, I'm gonna take care of you. Like, that's just what I do. I'm gonna make sure you're good. And again, you just gotta be open to that, cause I'm open to whatever you gotta tell me. There's no judgment here. And there's, that's the trust we have. That's the understanding that me and you are gonna have from now on. All right. Because it's got to be done with understanding. And I'm always going to act accordingly. Like I told you, it might not be what you want to hear, because enhancement sometimes, in order to grow, sometimes there's pain involved. But you know what? You're going to grow from that. And when you do squats in the morning, your ass be sore the next day, right? Hell yeah. That means your ass got a good workout. There was a little bit of pain involved, but with pain, there's pleasure. With pleasure, there can be growth. So, that's just how we're going to attack this. That's just how we're going to go about, our interactions. Will there be physicality involved? There probably will. I mean, you can't deny a physical attraction, but understand that that's not